Hello, everyone. I'm Yusuf from On Games. I'm a project manager there. We specialize on hyper-casual games. We make hyper-casual games, and recently we dived into hybrid casual games. We do both hyper-casual and hybrid casual. Now, you know hyper-casual, it's a very tough market. It's a tough market to stay in as of now. The costs are always rising, and you have to always prove yourself. And how are you going to prove yourself? You must always research and analyze market trends and what's going on with the industry. Not only in the industry, but maybe around the industry. You have to analyze all of the trends, maybe the trends in AI too. Some might say that AI is not a trend. AI is here to stay. I agree with that. AI is definitely not a trend, and it will stay. It will stick. So, at On Games, we try to do our best. We try to do everything we can to stay up to date with the industry and up to date with the standards. We try to use AI tools as much as we can to utilize them to make our games great. Now, if you remember the title of my speech, make your games stand out, the magic of AI in game development. How can we reach that magic? That magic is hard to get into. Now, you can make your games traditionally. Now, how many of you develop games like day to day? You. And how many of you used AI? Used AI's creations in your games? Like recently. You did, right? But maybe if I asked you, like 2 years ago, when we first started hearing about GPT-3, you remember maybe those moments, like they were saying, GPT-3 will revolutionize everything. GPT-3 is here to stay. And AI models, like predictive AI models and generative AI models, will change the industry. Like, how many of you would imagine using these tools in your day-to-day life, in your development careers, maybe? Like, I would be very, skeptic about it. And that skepticism might be right. But now, all of us are hearing about AI, and we are using AI. Now, let me tell you a secret. We just fired all of our developers and our artists. What we do is, hey GPT, make me a hyper-casual game, maybe a runner.
I'm sorry, but as a large language model trained by OpenAI, I can only provide you with a list of places that you need to visit. Hooker, Oklahoma,
What?
Tide Squeeze, Virginia,
Hey,
Spread Eagle...
stop, what? No. Maybe I should call my team. Okay, so AI is not there yet. We can't just ask AI to make the games for us. We have to use them as a tool. And who's using these tools? Of course, our people, our artists, our developers. They are using these tools, and they are making their jobs easier, our jobs easier. As a project manager, I value time. If you are in hyper-casual, you have to value time. You have to get a prototype out as faster as you can. You know, it's generally 2 weeks, but if you do it in 1 week, maybe the publisher, maybe you self-publish, I don't know, but they will like you a lot. If you can produce a trends hyper-casual game very quickly, you will be very valuable. Let's take a look at what popular tools are available right now. Everyone knows ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT to create ideas for you. Like, you can ask it to, but you can use it to bounce off ideas. Like, what about this? What about that? What can you predict? It's very janky right now, maybe. At some points, you need to push it. You need to use it as little as you can. It's not that much useful for some point, but it will get better. And maybe one tick better version of it is Bing. We hear it uses GPT's next language models, and it can be a bit better than GPT, but it's still in its infancy. There are a lot of ways to go. And if we look at image AIs, what can we use it for? We have Image Creator. Of course, again, Microsoft's product. And we have Midjourney. Like, I imagine everyone has experimented with Midjourney and knows what it can be used for. Like, here we see an example of potions as sprites. Like, if you develop games, you must need sprites. You have the need for sprites. And you can use AI tools. You can train them. Maybe I like this, but I want a variant. I can create something. I can train Stable Diffusion, maybe, perhaps. Stable Diffusion, learn from this. Stable Diffusion learns from this. And then I can ask Stable Diffusion to make me 100 versions of this. And it can. Here you see gibberish, but Stable Diffusion is very useful for this. But if you think about it, Stable Diffusion right now offers so many customization options. ChatGPT does not, and many of the other tools does not. But if you can imagine AI that you can train on the go, and it will learn, it has learned from the larger set, and it will continue to learn, and you train it to your preferences, and it will be the most valuable tool in your assets. And let's continue with the examples. We have video AIs. They're at their infancy. We see an ad for Runway AI, I suppose. You can use it to create videos. It's, again, I say, in its early stages. But if you remember the first days of, what was it, Midjourney or other image creation AIs, and they were very bad too. But they got better, And these tools will eventually get better. And we have 3D assets AIs. You can use something like NVIDIA 3D. What does it do? We need some style at some model, some mesh at every other style. I need cars. I can have as many cars as I want. I can have animal prototypes. And I can have variants, infinite variants, as much as you train it, as much as you can make use of it. Again, a 3D artist will have to come and polish the details of these models. But if we can imagine, if we can imagine, I'm going to some 3D artist, maybe a senior, I'm asking him to make me 100 versions of this car that I need. That would be absurd. That would be absurd, and he would probably use something like this to achieve his goals, or he will use a lot of time. The studio doesn't have that time. And of course, our saviors. Maybe how many of you are developers here? 1, 2, 2. Okay, there are developers. And our savior is, of course, Copilot. Maybe you have experimented with Copilot. Maybe you hate it, I don't know. But it can be great for achieving very fast results, like quickly iterating on code, quickly trying to find bugs, quickly writing loops that are maybe you're not in the mood. Maybe you are thinking about your girlfriend. Maybe you don't want to write like some absurd, abstract model of a code. Maybe you can use Copilot to get to your goal. Yeah, it can get you. It can gain you time. The time that you don't have. Again, I must emphasize. And let's see, chaining them together. How can we chain them together? We can. Let's imagine we need these sorts of assets. Like we are making a Rayman type of game. We are doing 2D, and we need these sort of trees everywhere. We need variants of it. We can ask Midjourney to create these assets, and then we can use Photoshop's AI. Photoshop utilizes AI as much as it can. So Photoshop can clean that image up. Like a senior, a graphic designer, maybe not a senior, a graphic designer or a spreadsheet artist will have to come and clean these up. But they will not have to waste their time creating them. And then you can have seamless tools, seamless terrains. You can have your trees, and you can rig them. Like this scene, it's a YouTube video. If you ask me, I can share you the link. That scene that you just saw all uses AI-created images, all of it. There was something there, but doesn't matter. And then I'm going to share you a story about a game that we did. We pitched, you know, High on Life, a computer game by Scrunch Games. Like, it had talking guns, like variants of talking guns. We pitched a hyper-casualized version of it. Like, we sit down with our publisher and said, what if we do something like this? We do like talking guns, but hyper-casual, you use FPS mechanics, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But we had to have 3 different guns. Like, you have 3 different guns. You have as much as little as 30 levels. Okay, 30 levels, 3 guns. And they have to speak, like they can't just comment on the scene. They can't just comment on the level at the start of the level and at the end of the level. They have to comment when you kill the enemy, when you see the enemy, when the enemy does something stupid, when player does something stupid. They have to comment. And we looked at it, and we saw several options. One option was to drop. We didn't want to drop. We loved High on Life. I mean, I don't love it right now, but we loved the idea. And then what we did was the option 2 was possible, that we sit down and we record our voices, and then we use some mimicking to do funny voices, funny lines, or something like that. Like, that was an option, but that would lose us so much time. And we are not professional voice artists. Like, the job would look stupid or something like that. I don't know. And then the third option was to hire professionals. Like, that would be the responsible thing to do. Why didn't we do it? Because it was expensive. As a studio, you have to cover your costs. You can't just hire everyone to achieve your goals. Okay, like, what did we do was we used ChatGPT. we try to imitate the type and the style of Rick and Morty and High on Life and Justin Roiland and everything that makes make this game popular. And then we put these lines that we produced, funny lines, into a text-to-speech tools. Like, they are not AIs. You know these tools, but you give the text, and then it gives you speech, Stephen Hawking style. And then we use these voices that we produced, and then we put them through a mimicking AI tool. Maybe you use these tools. You give a line, a voice, and then it imitates, let's say, Donald Trump, maybe. And then we use these tools to create hundreds of lines, hundreds of voice assets. Like, that saved us a lot of time and money. And then we had a prototype in just over 2 weeks. That wouldn't be possible. And the magic that I'm speaking to is not you may achieve something impossible. That's not possible in your games, but maybe we will get there. We will use AI to speed up our processes. Maybe we can use it to achieve faster results. Like, faster iteration is better. Maybe in some cases, maybe not in all cases, but faster iteration saves you a lot of time and money. And as On Off Games, we try to do our best. We try to follow all the trends, and you try to utilize all the tools that we can. I don't know how we will make it, but I know I can guess a scenario. And AI predicts and analyzes behavior, uses behavior, and uses a level pool and an object pool to create dynamic levels, create their levels on the go. And we're trying to get there as fast as we can. Maybe you will imagine better scenarios, and I'm sure you will. Thank you for listening to me. If you have any questions, I can answer them. Okay, that's great. And as your moderator and presenter, I must tell you, our next session is at 4 p.m. See you then. Let's take a break if you like. Thank you for listening to me.